Hello, my name is Deepesh Prakash Guragain from Nepal Engineering College and welcome to this lesson about co-creation and stakeholder analysis. When you are co-creating your work with both your teams and with people from outside your team, which are external stakeholders, you and your team members are working together to learn and to reach a common goal. But who are the external stakeholders in co-creation project? Let's first start with answering the question, what is a stakeholder? A stakeholder is a person or group with an interest or involvement of any kind in a certain something, such as project that you are working on. The stakeholders are external to your team and can be, for example, customer, technical expert, community representative, government actors, or end user. To get better understanding of your external stakeholder and what are their views and value, you need to do a stakeholder analysis. There are 3 steps on how to do a stakeholder analysis. Step 1. Identify all stakeholders. Brainstorm and list all the stakeholders that you think of that are relevant to your project. So think of all the peoples and organizations that somehow have a stake in your project and write them down. Try to come up with at least 10 different stakeholders. Think of all people who are potentially affected by the project, all people who have influence or power in the project and those who have interest in it. Step 2. Prioritize. Prioritize those stakeholders that you would like to know more about and think are most relevant and involved in your project. Select at least 5. We can do this in several ways, one of which is by using the power interest grid. If you plot all your stakeholders in power grid interest grid, you can easily determine the most important stakeholder for your case. For every stakeholder you determine to what extent it should be placed on both the axis of power and interest. When doing so, place the different stakeholders in different fields on the grid, as shown in the figure. The 4 quadrant shows different approach you could use for engaging with each particular stakeholder. High power, high interest. These stakeholders are likely to be the decision maker and have the greatest impact on your project success. You need to keep these stakeholders close, manage their expectation well, and listen carefully to their need in order to make sure that their interest does not conflict with project that you initiated. High power, low interest. These stakeholders need to be kept in loop about what is happening in your project. Even though they may not be interested in the outcome, they yield power. These stakeholders should be dealt with cautiously because they could use their power in a negative way if they become unsatisfied. Make sure to be well aligned with their needs. Low power, high interest. You should keep these people adequately informed and talk to them to ensure that no major issues are arising. These people can often be very helpful with obtaining information relevant for your project. Low power, low interest. Monitor these people, but do not spend time and energy with excessive communication as this group of stakeholders are least relevant to your project. Step 3 in stakeholder analysis. List values and view. Think of each stakeholder that you prioritize and indicate what their values and views are with regard to your project. Try to flesh out the interest of each particular stakeholder. What are the requirements and wishes related to the project? Method for mapping the values and views of the stakeholder to make a person or to map the Persio circle of identity. Once you have identified, prioritized and mapped the most relevant stakeholder for your project, it is a good idea to verify whether or not these findings are actually true. Try to organize at least one stakeholder conversation or interview and discuss his or her ideas regarding your project. With this, we come to the end of this lesson. Thank you.